This is Meet Sean, where we break down real life topics insurance, annuities, real estate, travel planning, and home ownership so you can make smarter moves. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.
Welcome back to the deep dive. This week, we are skipping the chaos. We're giving you the strategic blueprint for the biggest electronics event of the year, Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been waiting to upgrade your computer or maybe score a new phone or finally grab that 4K TV, this deep dive is your shortcut to maximizing those savings.
That's absolutely right. What we've done is pull together all the data pricing history, retailer strategy, product specs. The mission today isn't just to list what's on sale.
Right.
It's to give you the tactics to spot a truly great deal versus, just an inflated discount. We want you to bypass the basics and get straight to the tactical advantage.
Exactly. We're aiming for that feeling where you know you won the shopping game. So let's start with the one thing almost everyone gets wrong, figuring out if the price is actually good.
Right. So most shoppers fall into this trap where they see a sale and assume it's the lowest price ever.
Yeah, you see 50% off and your brain just lights up.
Exactly. But the sources show that many of those deals are based on an artificially inflated MSRP from the much before. So that 50% off might be off a price nobody was ever actually paying.
Okay, so the real strategy here is knowing the true baseline price. How far back should you be looking with those price history tools?
You need to go back at least 3, maybe even 6 months. If a laptop was selling for, say, $800 all summer, and then in October, the price jumps to $1,200 just so they can offer a 50% off deal for $600.
That's still a good deal, but the discount isn't what they claim.
Precisely. You only know the real discount by looking at the true historical low, not the new MSRP.
That's a huge distinction. And let's stick with pricing for a second. What about mitigating risk? I saw a note about price adjustments.
Oh, this is a crucial detail. A lot of stores have price matching or adjustment windows. So if you buy something on a Thursday and it drops further on Saturday, you can get the difference back.
Okay, sounds good.
However, and this is the big catch most policies, specifically exclude limited-time doorbusters or flash sales.
Ah.
So if you're chasing one of those super specific limited quantity deals, just know you probably won't have that safety net later on.
That makes a lot of sense. They don't want to undercut their own biggest deals. Okay, so before we move on from planning, let's talk about the exit strategy. What happens if that shiny new monitor arrives with a dead pixel? What's the deal with holiday returns?
It's a total minefield. You can't assume the normal 90-day return policy applies.
Yeah.
Nope. During the holidays, some retailers tighten those rules up. They might charge pretty big restocking fees, especially for electronics you've already opened and registered. You absolutely have to check this specific holiday return window before you hit buy.
Good to know. And finally, what about those extended warranties they always push at checkout? Are they ever worth it?
You need to do a quick cost-benefit analysis right there at the counter. The sources say you should check the product's known reliability.
Are people complaining online about it failing?
Exactly. And more importantly, check the manufacturer's warranty first. If the product already comes with 2 years of coverage, paying extra for the store's 1-year extension is usually just, poor value.
Okay, so we've got the strategic planning down. Now for the retailer playbook. Instead of just listing stores, let's frame this as where to find the best battlefield for what you need.
I like that. So if your goal is pure high-volume speed, your focus has to be Amazon.
The lightning deal.
The lightning deals, for sure. Their whole strategy is about locking you into their ecosystem. So if you need a new Kindle, an Echo speaker, a Fire TV stick, that's your number one target. They'll sell you that hardware basically at cost.
Right, because they make the money on the services later. But what if I'm hunting for something more high-spec? Like a serious gaming laptop or one of those flagship 4K TVs. Amazon can be a bit hit or miss there.
That's where you pivot to Best Buy. They position themselves as the comprehensive tech specialist. They'll have deeper stock and way more variety on that specialized tech.
So high-end laptops, new TVs, smart home stuff from all the big brands.
Yep. Think of them as the place to go for your big-ticket, multi-brand comparisons.
Got it. And for the person who's really driven by budget, maybe they just need a solid laptop for working from home or a starter tablet for a student.
That's Walmart, no question. Their whole Black Friday game is built around rollbacks and budget-friendly options. You'll find the absolute best doorbusters on affordable laptops, entry-level tablets, maybe older phones. If you don't need bleeding-edge performance, Walmart's your store.
And we can't forget the wild cards. What about, say, Target or Costco?
Target is always really competitive on gaming consoles. They often bundle them with valuable gift cards, which is a nice little bonus.
And Costco.
Costco is for high-end electronics, but you need that membership. Their real value often comes from bundles, like they'll package a TV with a sound bar, and their return policies are just legendary, super consumer friendly.
All right, let's pivot to the heaviest hitters. Phones and computers. These are expensive. The specs can be overwhelming. Let's focus on the smart trade-offs. Hashtag tag 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 a smartphone analysis.
Let's start with Apple. The iPhone 15 and 14 series are going to see deep discounts, but usually through carrier deals or those gift card bundles we mentioned.
And the pros are pretty well known. Great camera, super fast, good battery life.
For sure. But the trade-off, even with a discount, is that high initial cost and, you're locked into that closed ecosystem. There's not a lot of customization.
So it's reliable, but it's expensive and restrictive. What does Samsung offer for someone who wants more adaptability?
That's where the Galaxy S23 and especially the Fold series come in. The S23 is a top-tier performer, but the Fold, well, that's a real gamble.
A gamble.
It offers incredible adaptability for multitasking, but you're buying a product that's just inherently riskier. Those foldable screens still have more potential durability issues than a normal phone. It's amazing tech, but you have to factor in that risk.
Well, what about Google's Pixel? It's always praised for its camera.
Absolutely. The Pixel 8 and 7, they use computational photography better than anyone. It's the best point-and-shoot camera experience, and you get software updates right away. The main drawback is still the slightly weaker battery life compared to its rivals, and no expandable storage. Hashtag tag tag texture laptop and desktop comparison.
Now for laptops, let's talk gaming. The specs are critical, but let's define the payoff. If someone sees a recommendation for an NVIDIA GeForce RTX card, what does that actually mean for them?
That's your green light. If you see the RTX tag, it means that laptop is powerful enough to run modern games smoothly, like a solid 60 frames per second or higher, without the image getting all blurry or toppy.
So what's the magic combo?
Look for those latest RTX graphics and at least 16 gigs of RAM. That 16 GB is non-negotiable for modern gaming. You'll find those in brands like Asus, MSI, and Alienware.
Okay, switching gears to business laptops, Dell, HP, Lenovo. We always see recommendations for Intel Core i5 or i7 processors. Why does that matter so much for someone who's just on Zoom calls and spreadsheets all day?
It's all about stability under load. An i5 or i7 with at least 8 GB of RAM means if you've got 30 browser tabs open, a video call going, and a huge spreadsheet, your machine doesn't just freeze up.
It just works.
It just works. These models prioritize security and durability over, flashy lights.
And finally, the budget category. Chromebooks, great for students, but what's the big limitation we should warn people about?
The real limitation is their dependence on the cloud. They're lightweight, affordable, great battery life, perfect for basic tasks. But their offline capabilities are severely limited, and they are definitely not for video editing or serious gaming. It's basically a web browser in a laptop's body.
Okay, let's bring this deep dive into the living room. Black Friday is famous for TV deals.
Yeah, but we need to get past the acronyms. We always hear OLED versus QLED. For the average person, why should they pick one over the other?
It all comes down to contrast. OLED technology lets each individual pixel turn on or off completely.
So you get perfect black. You get perfect black, incredible contrast, really rich colors. QLED, on the other hand, still uses a backlight, but with something called quantum dots to make the colors brighter and more vibrant.
So what's the simple choice?
If you watch movies in a dark room, go for OLED, like the LG C1. If your living room is bright and sunny, QLED will cut through that glare better. Think Samsung QN90A.
And once you've got the picture, you need the sound. A soundbar is usually the next step. What's the key feature to look for?
Look for Dolby Atmos. That's the technology that gives you vertical sound. It feels like it's coming from above you. It creates this amazing three-dimensional bubble of audio. A soundbar from Sonos or Bose with Atmos is a game changer for movies.
Okay, personal audio, headphones. The big debate is always noise cancellation versus comfort.
And that debate is pretty much Sony versus Bose. Sony's WH-1000XM5 headphones are widely seen as having the best active noise cancellation.
For blocking out everything.
Everything. But the Bose Quiet Comfort 45, well, the name says it all. They often win on pure long-term comfort. So maximum silence or maximum comfort, that's your decision. Hashtag B, gaming systems. All right, consoles, they're always a hot item. Let's start with PlayStation. The PS5 Slim and Pro models kind of complicate the choice.
So I have to ask the big question. Is the PS5 Pro really worth that extra money right now?
For most people on Black Friday, probably not. The Pro has better hardware, sure, but you only really see its full potential on a high-end 8K TV, which most of us don't have yet.
So the Slim is the smarter buy.
The PS5 Slim is smaller. It's still incredibly fast with its SSD, and it plays all the same games. I'd say buy the Slim unless you absolutely have to have that marginal performance boost.
And on the Xbox side, it's Series X versus Series S, but the real story is the subscription.
Exactly. The Series X is for max performance in physical games. The Series S is the budget, digital-only option. But the undeniable selling point for both is Game Pass. That subscription gives you instant access to hundreds of games. It's maybe the best value in all of gaming.
Finally, the Nintendo Switch. What's the deciding factor between the OLED and the Lite model?
It's all about versatility. The OLED model has a much better screen, and it can connect to your TV for home play and be used as a handheld.
And the Lite can't.
The Lite is strictly handheld. It's for budget, on-the-go gaming. If you ever want to play Mario Kart on the big screen with friends, you have to get the OLED or the standard model. Okay, quick fire round. The connected ecosystem, but always with that necessary con.
Let's do it. Smart speakers like Amazon Echo or Google Nest. Great for voice control, but what's the trade-off?
Convenience versus connectivity. The pro is easy voice control, multi-room audio. The con. They need a constant internet connection to work at all, and there are always those privacy concerns about what's being recorded.
Security systems Ring, Arlo, Nest. We love the real-time alert.
For sure, but the cost doesn't stop when you buy the hardware. The big con is that most of the best features, like video recording, require a paid monthly subscription for cloud storage.
Ah, so it's an ongoing fee.
It's an ongoing fee.
Okay, high-end wearables. Apple Watch, Samsung Galaxy Watch.
The pros are incredible. Advanced health monitoring, seamless phone integration. But you're paying a premium price, and the universal drawback is still the battery life. You're probably charging it every single day.
And lastly, VR headsets. MetaQuest PSVR 2.
The pro is a truly immersive experience. The tech is amazing. The con is that the cost is still high, and the amount of content, while it's growing, is still pretty limited compared to traditional gaming. Make sure the games you want to play are actually there before you buy.
That was an essential deep dive. The main message here is pretty clear. Black Friday is your best shot at electronic savings, but only if you go in with a strategy. You have to check historical pricing and really understand the value of the key specs we talked about today.
And I think what's so fascinating is that understanding the retailer's intent is the real advantage. Knowing Amazon wants to lock you into their world while Best Buy wants to be your premium tech destination, that lets you focus your energy. You stick to your list and you avoid that emotional impulse buy.
A perfect way to put it. We focus a lot on Black Friday itself, but let's look just a little bit ahead. Don't forget to investigate Cyber Monday deals, too.
Right.
The sources all emphasize that Cyber Monday often has similar massive discounts on electronics from the exact same retailers, but sometimes with an added focus on digital bundles and online-only offers. So if you miss out on a doorbuster, your window isn't totally closed, it just shifts to the digital storefront. The hunt continues.
That's it for today's Meet Sean. If this helped, follow the show and share this episode with one person who needs it. See you next time.